So I'm going to start with something, two things. One of them is something not very interesting and also something pretty clearly out of reach. Okay, we're going to make this project sort of increasing in difficulty. But in the beginning, I'm just going to start with something pretty boring, not very interesting, something she's probably not going to want to eat, but it's interesting. It's worthy of note. So I'm just going to put it up here. And I don't know if you saw that she's turning her head away. So she's looking at this, I'm placing it on here, and then she's turning her head and looking at me. And I'm clicking her for doing that. Delicious orange, interested in orange. Yes, she keeps looking over to me. And I'm going to click that. Because every time she's looking away from it, I want to reinforce that. She's making the conscious choice to look away from something up on the counter. Even if it's kind of a boring thing, I'm going to reinforce her for doing that. Ooh, yes. Okay, so that's pretty easy. Now, I can do a couple of things. I can move up into something harder, something more interesting than an orange, or I can move into putting it in a location that's closer and easier for her to access. I'm actually going to do that. So let me move over this chair. Now it's more at her eye level. Now she's going to sniff it, which is fine, but I'm going to click her when she turns away from it. And again, she's going to get the idea that, oh, the idea is that I get reinforced for looking away. Yes. So I made that little kissy sound to call her attention away, but that's a good starting point. So I want her to look at the orange and then look to me. Yes. So that's obviously easy for her. Looking at the orange, looking away, even though it's right at her level. I'm going to move it a little close to her nose. Again, easy to do. So that's no big deal. So now let's up the ante a little bit. Let's go with something harder and more delicious. This is a bone she really enjoys. So because I've raised the criteria here, I've got something that she really enjoys, I'm going to put it up higher. And she's making that conscious choice to turn away from it. Yes. I don't know if you can see that swivel of her head, but she's doing a great job. I'm going to move it a little closer to her. Yes. Yes. And she's still swiveling back to look at me. She obviously gets the game. So smart. Let's do one more at this level. Yes. Turning away. Super easy for her. Now I'm going to try it lower down at her level. Ooh. Yes. But you can see she's got the game. Let me move it a little better so you can see. Yes. She's even touching it with her nose. And then looking to me. Very simple for her. Let me see if we can get a different angle here. You can see her face. Look, how delicious. Come here. Come back around. Yes. Yes. But she's choosing instead to look to me. Yes, very good. Let's get you another treat. All right, so that is obviously pretty simple for her. So now let's move on to something even better. All right, let's up the ante a little bit. I've got a bacon strip. Very delicious. Very interested in that. And she even took a snack for it. So I'm going to put it up here. But she still chose to look at me. Still, she chose to look at me. I'm going to do one more at this level of difficulty. Yes, good girl. Very nice. Now I'm going to move it a little lower down. A little harder. Good girl. A little lower down still, a little more. That's probably a little tricky. Let me move over this chair. Okay, come on. Okay, this may be tricky. I'm going to put this on the chair. Yes, I had to interrupt that a little bit, but that's fine. Yes, good girl. What's that? What's that? Where's the bacon? Yes, so she's getting the game. You can see she looks away. Let me move this a little bit so we're both. Yes, good girl. Very nice. Where's the bacon? Where's that bacon? Good girl. Where's that bacon? Good girl. You're very good. Very, very nice. Yes, good girl. Making good choices. I'm going to put the food a little closer by and feed her. Yeah, you earned that. So again, all right, so I'm going to put that food down there. Yes, good girl. A little slow on my click there. Good girl. Food. What's this here? Good girl. Good girl. This is food. Yes. And she's choosing instead to look at me. I'm going to move it a little closer. Leave it. That was close. Yes. It's always tricky to figure out that place, which is a little challenging for her, but not impossible. Yes. Very nice. Leave it. Leave it. Very nice. Now, one other variable that I can use is my distance from the trigger. Because I'm so close now that if there were to be a problem, I could still reach over and probably beat her to grabbing the snack. But as I get farther and farther away, she has more of a chance to grab it. So I'm going to move a little bit and just kind of let her make some choices. Ah, she's moving with me. That's very nice. I like that choice. I'm going to move around a little bit. Leave it. Yes, good girl. So she's making the choice, even as I'm moving farther and farther away. I'm off screen now. But I'm moving farther away, giving her more of an opportunity to be around that bacon strip and make a good choice. So I'm pretty far away from it. I probably could not get there before she did. What's on the table? And instead she's making the choice to look back at me. Now, one important piece also to mention, yes, is that what I have is probably even better than this bacon strip. Yeah. So that makes it a little easier for her to make the right choice, even though I'm moving farther away. Yes, she looked at it and then looked to me. So that's why as you increase in terms of the goodness of your trigger, it's going to make her stronger. Good. It's going to make her stronger and stronger. So she's got all the ability to grab that bacon that she wants, and she's choosing not to. Good girl. Again, I have something that's probably better than the bacon, or at least they're maybe equal. But let's move on. I'm going to actually give her some of that bacon because that was good work. Okay, now I'm going to move to something still harder. This is a plate full of pepperoni and cheese, so it's going to be really smelly and delicious. Very difficult. So I'm going to start that whole process from the beginning, working way up here where she can't get it, but she's very aware that it's up there. She's like, oh my God, it smells so good. We got a whole charcuterie up here for you. And she's choosing to look my way, even though she's very interested. Good girl. Give her a little more, just give her a little waft of the smell. And she's looking to me, which I love. So I'm going to move this a little lower down. Yes, good girl. What is that? Yeah. What is that? What is that goodness? What is that goodness here? You're doing very good. She's doing a great job. I'm going to move this to the chair. Leave it. Leave it. Very good. And because I've increased that the difficulty factor, I'm going to stay close. Leave it. Good girl. But I'll gradually work myself away, farther and farther away. Yes. So she looked at it herself and looked away herself. She didn't need any prompting. Yes, good girl. All right, I'm going to start moving a little bit away, give her more freedom to make her own choices. But every time she's looking at the food and then looking at me, I'm going to click that. I want her to know that I'm watching all the good things that she's doing. Yes, very nice. Now, I would say probably what I have is not as good as the pepperoni, not as good as the cheese, but she's making the choice anyway. Good girl, I saw you look at that. That was very nice. Yes. And oops, I don't know if you can see the swiveling of her head as she's going around. She's really working hard. You're doing really good. Yeah. What do we have there? What do we have there? What's in this cake? What's on here? Good girl. She's not even looking now. You're so good. So I'm going to walk off screen. That was a great one. I'm going to be quite a distance away. Yes. Good choice. That was hard. I'm going to walk quite a distance away because part of this also is you want to be teaching her how to do this kind of behavior even though you're not around to reinforce it. Good girl. Yeah, good girl. So anyway, that's how this project works. The other thing I would mention just real briefly is that I'm going to give you a little bite of cheese. Is that in the kitchen, you probably notice one of the very first things she does when she comes in. She comes into the kitchen and probably her body language goes up because she's all checking out the counter and seeing what might be up there. So one of the things I do with a counter surfer is that I will mine the floor so that, okay, she's gonna look up, there might be something good up there, maybe so, but there's always better things down below. So below becomes more of a sure thing than being up on the counter. So then when she comes into the kitchen over time, she's gonna start going, ooh, what's down here? I'm gonna find something, I'm gonna find some tasty treat. So I'll literally take food and I'll be dropping it down like under the counters. I hope that doesn't gross you out, but that's what I'll do. I'll put little bits of food, little treats to find around under the counters, and that will help a little bit as well. Okay. All right. Not something that can be fixed overnight, but it definitely can be fixed over time.